Today on Fitness, Feelings and Feminism, I've got my friend Emma on. If you've listened to George's episode, I was joking about her being my old friend. Friend. Just throw that in there while you're on camera. Me and Em met the same way that, me and George had. We met at CrossFit. And I feel like this is like the key to our friendship. I remember us meeting and we were doing, I can still remember the workout. It was like 150 wall balls for time. And this is, if you can if we were a film, this would be our moment where it was like we were meant to be friends. I was knackered doing this workout and you were like, oh, go on, love, as you do. And you were encouraging me. And you said to me, I said oh, you know what, I'm just knackered at the minute. I'm doing intermittent fasting. And that's the story of our lives. That was about probably 4 or 5 years ago.
You're still doing intermittent fasting?
It worked, yeah.
Yeah.
But the funny part was you were like, oh God, yeah, I've tried that. And then you were just saying, you've tried everything under the sun.
Every single diet under the sun.
I don't know if we'd have anything to talk about if we actually got to our goal weight.
No, probably not, actually. I feel like I'd bin you off and just move to LA or something. Because it's been a long time coming. Quite happy now though, to be fair.
Good, so you should be. Well, it's mad, isn't it? Because obviously I would rant to you about my weight and you'd rant to me about yours, but I never see an issue with you, and hopefully you never see an issue with mine. So it's like you just can't see it in yourself. But though, yeah, you've we always talk about how we've just tried absolutely every diet, every exercise, and it's a bit similar. I don't know if it's just the kind of era. I was speaking to my mum the other day, and what would we wear? What was I wearing? Oh, we saw someone walk past wearing leather pants. And my mum was like...
In the heat, in the sun?
Yeah, in the sun. And I was oh my God, they must be sweating. And she went, reminds me when I used to have a bodysuit and I used to just sit in it to try and sweat. And I was like, I can picture it.
I've actually had cycling leggings that make you sweat. Genuinely. Why? When I had the kids.
No time to waste.
Yeah, practically. I used to walk to mother and baby group with Arshay, and I remember them, I bought them, they were like a swim, like a wetsuit material,
like a cozy.
And they were meant to make you sweat, and honestly, it was vile.
Do you know what it always reminds me of is that scene in Full Monty. Have you watched Full Monty?
Yeah, but it was a long time ago.
When he's wrapped himself in something and he's sat in the shed eating a Mars bar.
But it does work though, doesn't it? But obviously you just lose water, which is what loads of diets are all about, isn't it? Is the fact that you drop water weight, and depending on how much you hold, it can be quite a lot sometimes.
So is it after kids? I'm just going to say as well, guys, I have no purpose this episode. I have no goal. Me and Emma just constantly chat shit, and I just thought, I think the world needs to see it.
Well, I'll see if you've got the same thing.
My whole 6 viewers need to see it. But when did you first get into fitness then? Because I always remember you showing me that video of you.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, the video. I feel like you might need to play the video. So I tried, do you know what? Well, I used to be quite fit as a kid, as a teenager. I used to run. Why is that funny? I used to run because she's still trying to picture me jumping on a tyre. Oh, anyway.
No, it's just typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
You used to be fit when I was a kid. You used to do cross-country running.
Yeah, well, no, I was a sprinter, actually. 100 metre sprinter.
You used to be so tight.
And I used to also throw the shot put, just for good measure. I had the jeans for shot put, do you know what I mean? Which I often get still ripped out of me, even now that the kids know that I used to throw the shot put. So I used to do that, and then I give it all up for drinking boys. Which is kind of what I still do now. It's like a never ending story, honest to God. And I've still not learnt my lesson. But anyway, so yeah, I give all that up, and then I had kids, and obviously I had a career and everything else. And then I just remember feeling I was overweight. I put quite a lot of weight on with the kids. I'd lost a bit anyway through weight. I did all the Weight Watchers and stuff like that.
Counting your points,
steps, all of that. I don't even think I did steps then. It was just, literally Weight Watchers and Slimming World. And it was one alternated between the two when I got bored type of thing. And then tried to not eat and stuff like that, which was just ridiculous. And then, not like I had an issue with that, but it was just, you know what I mean? Just anything
just unhealthy habits.
Yeah, basically. You had an event and it was like, right, how do I lose a stone in a week?
I was
like we
talking.
literally still Google things like that now. Can't or don't, but like, you know what I mean? Can you actually lose a stone in a week?
You know what? It reminds me, I was speaking to somebody about this. About at 16, the shit I did. Like, I'd be there. I don't know whether my mum knew this, but I remember being like Holland and Barrett getting me Raspiquitos.
Yeah.
And do you know what as well? Because I wanted a small waist, I had one of these things and it was like it was
a trainer?
essentially, no, like this is where it's like how this was even sold as fitness product. It was a plate that you stood on, not a vibrating plate, just a plate.
Did you have to, like, pull it
and
up?
No, nothing. It just sat. So you just used to stand on it and twist, and it was meant to give you a small waist. I'd be on there.
Yeah,
for
but wouldn't
hours.
that make your waist thicker? Isn't it
I don't think it does anything.
No, it probably doesn't do anything. But you were sold on a £6
smaller, but I'd be there watching Corrie twisting away while my mum's on a little mini
Just
trampoline.
what we used to do, isn't it? I had all sorts. I had
Yeah.
this. I had one of them foot stepper things as well.
Oh
where you
my
used to, like,
God,
be able
yeah.
to sit and watch the telly.
My mum had one of them as well, where it was like a bar like that, and it had resistance. And
Oh,
you
I
used
had
to
one
do
of them.
that.
It was red. And you did it between your thighs as well.
And my mum used to be there doing it. She'll hate me for saying this, and she'd go, I must improve my bust.
No, I had one. They must have been all
You'd do
craze.
it there, you'd have it between your legs, and then she had
I
the
didn't. My mum
sit-up
did.
one.
Yeah, they're horrible. Them sit-up ones.
Yeah.
I actually do think they work. Anything related to a sit-up is vile, though. Let's be honest.
Says
What were we
about
talking about
sit-ups.
then? How I got into fitness. So, I just had enough of like all the crash diets and stuff like that. And I remember, he's my PT now, and I belong to his gym, Mossy. Put like I wouldn't say a boot camp, but it was essentially
Live
a boot camp. Yeah, Live Fit.
Yeah.
Which was like pay, whatever it was. And it was like 12 weeks. You got like a diet plan. You got access to these like boot camp, like really quite brutal sessions for me at that time anyway. And I was like, yeah, I really want to do this. Like, I've had enough. And I did, and I lost a lot of weight, but I was that unfit. Mossy used to have to stand on my toes for me to do a sit-up. Like, I literally could not do a sit-up at all. And I always think back to that moment because you can be...
now you're an absolute
beast. Wouldn't actually say I was an absolute beast.
You signed up to a High Rocks comp.
But yeah. So, yeah. It's because I do stupid things like this and I absolutely hate running. But anyway. So I did that. And then I went into CrossFit, and that's where I met you. Absolutely loved CrossFit, but then decided... I had a bit of, I've done everything, haven't I? I've been a bodybuilder. I've been a CrossFitter. Only like a BTEC version of all of them, but I have. But one thing that I do know is that I just love fitness, and I can't imagine now not doing something. Don't get me wrong. Like, when I say I love fitness, I think everyone's going, "Oh, fuck's sake, shut up." I don't mean like that. I mean it's like an actual fundamental part of my life.
No, that's it. Like, it's something that I can't imagine doing. Like, obviously, anybody that's been on my Instagram knows that I've been very stressed. I've got a house. We're having to do it up. And my one thing that I will not budge, I don't give a shit if the plumber needs to come at a certain time. If I need to get to the gym, and I know just saying that, I'm like, you tit.
Yeah.
But it's such a part of my life that I need to go for my own head.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel, I could not go. Different when you're on holiday. I can quite easily switch off on holiday. Like, I'm not on holiday thinking I need to get in the gym because it's like my time to chill. But just normal day-to-day life, I'd struggle going 2 weeks without doing something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not quite as structured as you. I try and do like, well, actually, I suppose I am.
You're
I try
more
and
structured
do
than me.
6 a.m. in the morning because it's just done then. I go
Yeah.
before my kids get up, before work starts, and I know it's done.
I made sure that I got a workout done before I came and recorded this because I was like, I feel like I'm in a bit of a shitty mood. Like, I've been really stressed. If I go there, I know it's going to boost my mood and I can get some of that stress out. And it's done exactly that.
There is something about just going, the stress relief from going the
Just
gym.
trucking weights
It's weird.
around.
No one ever feels bad after going the gym.
No,
and I know
even if you've done bad on a
you don't.
workout.
Yeah, you've just the fact that you've been there.
Yeah, you might feel a bit like, I should have done better on that workout, but I never regret going. I never feel like I actually feel worse.
Yeah.
Like, you always feel better than when you went in.
Yeah, 100%. You do.
especially when you do it together, like how me and you met, there's that shared suffering.
Well, do you know, I've met so many good mates through the gym.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
Because
I've
as
got
adults, like
4 or 5
yeah.
really good friends, including you now, that
Yeah.
I have honestly met through the gym that I would class as actual friends, not just gym friends.
That's it. I think it's a good way for people to meet. I'm really lucky. Like, I have a really close group of friends that I've been with since primary school. But a lot of people don't have that, like, luxury. And I think going to the gym is like, I wouldn't have met you if we didn't go to the gym and, like, look at
It's
this.
just a shame we haven't met a man.
Oh, she has.
Just no one that's worked. But yeah.
Oh, she's met men.
Not one that's worked. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a variety actually through the gym.
Just doing it all.
Yeah, through different, CrossFitters, bodybuilders. I'm joking, I'm really, that makes me sound really
Shot-putters.
bad. I'm like, no, that's not a shot putter, that might be what I need to do.
But what was I going to start chatting about then? So, what kind of, like, do you feel like you've finally sussed it out now then? Because this is what me and you always go back on, like,
know, too.
I don't, if this embarrasses you, I can cut it out. But I haven't seen Emma for a couple of weeks and she'd started a 75-day
God,
challenge.
yeah.
And as she came through the door, then I was like, you still doing a 75-day challenge? I was like, no. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. But me and you do have the habit of all or nothing.
Yeah, I think we are quite all or nothing mentality. And you said, do you think you've like cracked it? I don't think you ever do quite crack it. But I think that that's just part of life.
Yeah,
and
because
like,
there's always different stuff getting
there's
thrown
always
at
different
you.
stuff that you're juggling. You always have different goals. And one thing that I have learned is I don't think you can do everything at once.
See, I
and what
still
I mean,
want to.
Yeah, and I do.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just because you want to succeed in life and be successful, whether that's in the gym, in your career, in relationships, whatever it may be. But there's only so much of you that can go around.
Yeah.
And everything takes a lot of energy. Like, you know, sometimes my job is really, really stressful and the gym will give a bit. Sometimes I'm like, right, no, let's give too much now. And I do stupid things and I do think they're stupid, where I'll be quite radical and go, right, I'm going to train every day. I'm going to do this. And I know really that isn't going to sustain. And it's not because it's not sustainable. It isn't with my lifestyle. And then the boredom will creep in, or the need to go and socialise, and then I'll have a drink and then something will give away again. And I think that is just life. And I think what the key to it is unless you're like getting paid to do some kind of fitness, do you know what I mean? And no, I mean, unless you're a competitor, do you know what I mean? And it is literally your career, you know, and that is your day job, quite frankly. Like you have to do those things to give that package to compete.
Yeah.
Then I think the key is just to give yourself a bit of a break and know when to get back on.
It's hard, isn't it? Because
the cycle of it all, you know?
We are constantly like I've tried to do like the 75-day challenge before now, and I could not get past
Should we
the
tell
2 week
everyone
mark.
what the 75-day challenge is, because people don't know?
Yeah. This is like the opposite. So when you scroll on Instagram, you'll always see people like 75 days, do it, and we're like, here's 75-day it's 75-day challenge. We couldn't stick to it.
I think it's in a week. It's not even a week. No, so you're meant to work out twice a day for 45 minutes, one of them being outdoors, no alcohol, no cheat meals, follow some kind of diet plan, whatever it may be.
Did you say the read for 10 minutes?
Read for 10 minutes a day, a non-fiction book, and there's one other thing, and I was just about to say it and then you cut me off.
Sorry. Was it meditate?
No. Oh God, there's another thing. 3 litres of water.
That's the one.
Drink 3 litres of water. And actually, on paper, it sounds
really
easy.
simple.
Well, it doesn't sound really easy, but it sounds like
doable.
But
yeah.
But then life takes over, and it's like, well, can't quite do the gym
Friday
for the second
creeps
time.
in.
Or you end up. Someone says, "Do you want to go for a glass of wine?"
Yeah.
Or do you want to go to, I don't know, for a curry or whatever? And you can't say yeah.
I still don't feel like I've cracked it for myself yet. Obviously, to anybody that's looking at me thinking I toying with the idea of online coaching with me, I'm very competent at helping other people achieve the best lives. But
No, but I think that makes you a good coach.
that can't stick to.
No, because you're being a bit hard on yourself there, and you always
but
are.
that was the point that I was going to make, is in we're both so hard on each other, and you can recognise it with each other. Because it's like, realistically, you don't want to not drink for 75 days.
I just think I'm just more fun with a glass of wine than me, quite frankly, and so would other people. No, it's not. For me, the problem with alcohol that I find sometimes is I'm a bit of a binge drinker. So it's like I'll drink and then it'll have a knock-on effect, as you know. It'll have a knock-on effect in work for like I'll drink on Saturday night, have a ball, Monday's a write-off, Sunday's a write-off, but it'll affect Monday and Tuesday as well. That's what I don't like about alcohol.
I'm the same, as in like sometimes, even if I've not got like shit-faced, I'm not tired.
Yeah,
that for like 2 days I'm playing catch up because you can't take time off work. You're like, I've still got to get up at 6 on Monday.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I've still got 2 kids to feed on a Sunday.
Exactly.
Annoyingly. No, but it's true, you know what I mean? And it's just...
It is. And I also, like, I don't get it as much now because I don't know whether I've grown as a person necessarily, or I think it can just also come with age. I don't really get that. I used to get crippling anxiety after drinking. And I don't as much now.
Well, it's a depressant, isn't it? I think. Like, do you know? I remember. I think it was that. Oh God, I can't. It was that really famous nutritionist, and he does all the.
That Max guy that you follow. And you send me.
I can't think what it's called. But again, I'll tell you what it is at the end, and anyone can listen to it. But this podcast is about 3 hours long, and it's all about alcohol and how it genuinely shortens your life.
Yeah.
And they've like got so many studies on whether you drink 1 glass a week or you drink 3 bottles. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
It is really bad. Yeah, it's the increased dementia, all sorts. You just shouldn't drink alcohol. And the thing is, you know, when you get that fuzz and that tipsiness and you obviously get drunk.
That's what I chase.
This is what
Not every day.
Yeah. So this is what I was like, oh my God, that's so true. That's your body being poisoned. Like at that point, you are being poisoned, and that's your reaction to being poisoned. And you know, when you actually think of it like that, it's a poison. Your body's trying to process and get rid of it. But that's the result of being poisoned, is that you feel drunk.
Yeah, and you chase that feeling. I don't like being drunk, but I love being tipsy.
Yeah.
So I love being mildly poisoned.
Yeah, well, there you go. Mildly poisoned.
That's my thing. I don't want the full-on arsenic.
Yeah. But that's the thing, and that is, again, the key, isn't it? Is knowing when to stop. And because I think you chase that little buzz that you get, and then you chase it again and again,
and
like on the same night. But you don't get that anymore because you're just getting more and more and more drunk.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's really one thing. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. One thing that I've noticed as well, and that I've seen a lot of on Instagram and stuff, is that it's the only drug that you get guilted into taking. As in, I could say to you, right, well, don't joking. I could say to you, right, I've got all these drugs here. If you don't take them, I think you're dead boring. Like, that doesn't happen so socially. Whereas if you said to me, I wouldn't do this to you, but like, if you said to somebody like, oh, no, I'm not drinking, I'd be like, oh, come on.
Yeah, but there's not billion-dollar advertising campaigns behind drugs either.
That's what I mean.
Which is what the problem is. So alcohol is everything that anyone wants it to be, isn't it? It's either sexy, like, it's everything. You just look at ad campaigns. It can be healthy.
Happens when I have alcohol.
It can be healthy.
Trust me.
Like even like Gwyneth Paltrow has got some kind of like weird like hemp like gin or something like that. You know, like she does all that goop stuff.
Do you know what?
But it just shows you though her whole brand is lifestyle and cleanse and everything. But she's endorsed by alcohol.
I'm sorry. She's on about drinking bone broth 24/7, but have my gin.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. You know, it's the money behind it. It's a huge machine that you're never going to change.
It literally ruins lives, alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this isn't an intervention.
But
it does, like, the amount of times I've, like, been extremely stupid. And, like, I look back now at some stuff I'd done when I was 19 and I'm like, how am I still here to tell a tale? Like, it completely lowers your inhibitions.
I've done some really, really stupid things that like, if our Rose ever did, I would be mortified.
Because it's like, I don't have kids. I don't have kids. But I always think, like, of, like, my nephew or, like, when I do have kids, like, I always think, oh, my God, if I knew, they were, like, nothing major, because I'm quite a tame person, believe it or not. But just even, like, when I've walked home at, like, 5 o'clock in the morning along a canal on my own.
Exactly.
And you're like, I'm asking for Jack the Ripper.
But you're not. I mean? And then you get people going, no one's ever asking, blah, blah, blah.
But the reality is that... put myself in a dangerous situation.
Because you lower your inhibitions and
I could have fell in.
You feel, well, exactly. It's that party brain, isn't it, that it lowers, but it also makes you a lot more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just not that. Is
no,
that
it's all right.
Be a crisis?
But even, like, even stuff like... When I was like younger, like 18 and have house parties, it's like I used to think it was dead fun and I'd be like drunk and passed out and have no memory of the night or anything like that. And it's like, that's scary.
It is
like,
scary because you don't know, you can't control what other people are going to do when you're that vulnerable.
And that's what it is. Obviously, I don't mean that like I'm asking for trouble or anything like that, but it's like you're vulnerable.
Yeah, you're making yourself vulnerable.
I'm making myself vulnerable and it's like anything could happen. You could be walking home, trip, fall into the canal. I've really focused on the canal here, but just when I think back of stuff, and even like sometimes the stuff, do you know what they say, don't they? Like, oh, a drunk person speaks a sober mind. Not me. Like, I chat absolute shit.
I think it magnifies how you feel as you're getting drunk. So you can be in a really, really good frame of mind and it can magnify that. Now, if you're in a really shitty place, which a lot of people are when they turn to drink or decide to drink, it can magnify that again.
Yeah.
And I think that's what alcohol does. It puts a spotlight on your frame of mind.
Yeah.
I don't think it masks anything really. And
No.
I agree. I don't think, again, it lowers your inhibitions, doesn't it? So it's like, it might be that you do feel something, and this is where that truth phrase comes from. But in the real world, you'd keep that together and you probably would decide, oh, it's probably not wise to say that. It's how I feel, but it's probably not a good thing.
It pays off.
You don't. Yeah, well, it's like anything.
Like, I'm in a relationship due to alcohol because I decided to text the Zach at like, well, actually, it was very early on. I was smashed and we'd been speaking for ages, but I was kind of friend zone. I just messaged him in all capital letters. I fancy you. Do you fancy me? Sober me. Oh my God, I don't even make eye contact with boys. Like, so, but it worked out.
Yeah. I'm a lot more confident with alcohol.
I'm too confident with alcohol.
Yeah.
And then sometimes as well, like, I think that when I look back at certain times and not been in a good headspace, I'm still confident, but I'm not okay. And it's like, I think that like, that's when, because there's been times like on nights out, there's people alive and well that know a completely different version of me that was never me, but I weren't in a good place and I was just being like trying to be confident. You're faking it till you make it. The alcohol kind of gives you this false sense of confidence, and you say stuff that it's like, God, that's not even, I'm being someone that I'm not. Like, there's been times where I've woke up the next day and someone says, oh my God, do you remember saying this? And I'm like, that's not even a thought that that's not something that I'm thinking, oh shit, I can't believe I actually, like with the Zach thing, like, oh God, I can't believe I actually done that, but it was how I felt. And then there's other times where it's like, oh my God, I genuinely don't even think that. Like, what? I don't know why I've said that.
Yeah. But like anything, I think you've just got to, you live and learn, don't you, with alcohol? And I think, you know, some like younger people will be listening. I'm not just saying younger people, any person. I'm going to be going, oh, it's whatever you want to do at the end of the day. But I think when you look at the actual,
I just genuinely don't do it anymore.
On it's not good.
Yeah. I'd say on average I drink maybe once a month. Yeah. Like, that's it. It
depends what I've got going on. Do you know what I mean? If I'm dating or whatever, then I'll drink more.
You see,
that's another thing I feel like I need to drink when I go on a date.
You see, I never really went on drink. When I was dating, like on a first date, I'd always go for coffee, but that's because I've realised I'm a very hyper vigilant person. So I'd always want to be somewhere within walking distance where
when you see red flags.
Yeah. I've literally had it before with my friends.
I feel like I still don't see red flags until like 3 months in.
No, they're smacking you in the face
literally.
Yeah, I've had a friend before now, like, sneak into a coffee shop saying they shouldn't know me, so she keep an eye. Because I don't know, I'm not a very trusting person, clearly. But I would not go on
Just don't go on a date in a canal.
With a bottle of wine.
No.
Yeah, I just don't, well, I hate dating anyway. But, yeah.
Well, you don't need to, you're a homeowner now.
I know, for now. No, I'm joking. Homeowning's very stressful.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what was I going to say then? That's weird to say that about... because I probably could do with having a drink before a date, but I just won't. But to me, you're someone... This is going to sound so bad.
Go on.
To me, you're someone that is very confident in the company of men. So it shocks me.
No, do you know what a lot of people say?
That you
I
feel
come
like
across
you need
as really confident.
Whereas I'm really awkward with men.
I'm not at all. Like, I'm not. I think I've got a bit of a front. I work with men. There's not many women knocking around actually at all in the industry, but yeah, I don't think I am confident.
You see,
I'm not. I'm more anxious than not confident. I think that's what it is.
I guess me and you both do the same thing.
It chills me out.
When we're anxious, we don't shut up.
Yeah, no, I won't shut
up.
And I'll be
I literally am just like,
yeah, and they're like railroaded.
Silent. But no, I've always very confident. Like, I'm thinking back, like, oh, this just sums us up as well. Once me and Em were thinking of opening the gym.
Oh yeah.
And
it was probably a good idea.
Yeah, but
it's probably
we
the timing wasn't, which is a good thing.
Yeah, because didn't we go into a lockdown?
Yeah,
did we come out of a lockdown?
And it was before lockdown.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
God,
God, wasn't it? I don't even know.
I can't remember.
But
We've had that many ideas.
Oh, yeah, this is it, yeah.
But and I'll just always remember, like, you can just speak to anybody, but obviously now it's an anxious thing. And you also...
The builders.
Because Em changes her accent as well.
I don't change my accent.
She does. She was talking how she does now, and then this fella had like...
Do you know what? Do you know what
a broad northern accent, and you were like, all right, duck, lads, looking at
No,
you.
it wasn't at all. Sometimes though, I just think if I keep knocking that. If I'm with like more Scouse people, I'll go more Scouse. If I'm with like Widnes people, Lancashire, it goes more Widnes. It just depends who I'm with. Like a chameleon.
But, no, honestly, it's weird because I bet people watching this that know you would be like, oh my God, I thought Em was dead confident, but we're very alike. So I guess I see that because people think I'm extremely... I mean, Christ's sake, I'm doing a podcast, so I'm confident.
Yeah, and I'm on it.
I'm
Still
confident
words out how we got here.
to a degree, but if you ever see me and I'm quiet and I'm chilled, I'm relaxed and I'm actually confident.
See, I think I can be quiet. I said this
I
the
can
other day
be,
and
but
then
then
I
it
got
comes
laughed out the gym.
I can be quiet, but because I feel like we're a bit like, hey,
Yeah.
wherever we are.
Like people
if I'm
think
not
there's
like
something
that,
wrong.
they think something's wrong or I'm being moody and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not, I'm just chilled. And do you sometimes feel the pressure to put on a show when you're with people? I know I do.
I don't know if I feel a pressure. I'm probably... So if I go into a meeting, sometimes I'll go to myself, right, I'm not going to talk today. I'm just going to listen to what they've all got to say and I'm not going to put my penny's worth in. And then 5 minutes in and it's like, wham.
Yeah.
Because I can't help it.
I can't help it. It is an anxiety thing.
I don't know if it's anxiety. I just feel like I
mine
need to tell them what I think.
No, mine definitely is because it all stems from overthinking because if I'm not speaking, I'm like, oh my God, everyone in this meeting thinks I'm thick. I need to say something.
Really?
And then, yeah, like I can't handle silences either. And I don't know how me and Zach work because he's the most silent man.
That's probably why it works.
Ever,
Because you
yeah.
bounce off each other.
And he's really comfortable in silence. And I am with people I'm comfortable with. But even like yourself, if we were silent for too long, I'd be thinking,
What's
she wants me
wrong?
to go now. Like, she's
Oh,
bored me and blah,
really?
blah. Yeah, that's how I'll think. So I'll be like, so, hey up, Doug, should we go look at units? But yeah, the more anxious I am, the more I waffle. And it's like, we've said this before, I can hear myself speaking. I'm thinking, shut up, shut up, shut up. You sound a tit. Stop
But you
talking.
can't stop doing it.
Cannot stop myself.
Oh.
And it is a nerve thing, but to everyone else, it's like, oh my God, she's confident and loves the sound of her own voice.
Yeah.
And I'm not, I'm just...
It goes to show though, isn't it, again, that people don't ever fully know what's going on inside someone. Do you know what I mean?
I would love to be that quiet, mysterious girl that nobody knows what she does. And everyone knows my business within 5 minutes of meeting me.
Yeah, but that's just who you are, isn't it?
I know,
because
like, we've still got that where I'm like, oh, Em, I want to stop telling, like, everybody, not my problems, I don't
you
have
make me
many
laugh.
problems.
Ellie has to tell everybody if she's on a mission. Everybody knows about it, don't they? And like sometimes you'll go to me, I'm just not going to tell anybody. Like
I've already put it on
I've told you.
Instagram.
Yeah. And then if it doesn't work out, no one needs to know.
Yeah,
But that's
and
just who you are.
I'll have said that to about 5 people.
Yeah.
Like I'll be saying to like my mum and Zach and my other mates, like, yeah, I'm going to try and lose 5 pounds and I'm not going to tell anybody and I'm going to really work on my business. And I'm like, I've told everybody.
Come up from the sidelines.
Anybody that said hello to me, I've told.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just who you are and that's just,
I
it's
think you can
fine.
be a bit more mysterious than I can.
Yeah, and I think I would say I'm a bit more mysterious than you are, but only because of
Through experience.
just because of just like I'm not going to set myself up to fail and tell you because I know it won't happen.
Yeah, but no, I just it is like an anxiety thing with me. Like, I just can't shut up at times, but then I can't win because then when I'm quiet, everyone's like, "So would you? You're a bit moody." I'm like, I can't win.
Yeah, but it depends what job you do as well. Obviously, you're in a gym, aren't you? And you've got to try and like, especially when you're like coaching and stuff.
Yeah,
I've got to turn it on because otherwise, you know,
I think
it's not going to work. You're in a sociable job, aren't you?
And it's hard because then I feel like the people closest to me, like my mum and Zach and my dad and that, the people that like are around me on like a close level, I always feel guilty because I feel like they get the shit end of the stick because I always say I put on a show. Like with my clients, I'm still being me. It's still very much a version of me, but just heightened because they're paying for a service. I've got to be on my best game and like make sure they have a good experience. So then when I go home, my social battery's drained.
Yeah.
And even just people ask me those basic questions, I'm like, I've done so much small talk. I've being a PT is also being a therapist at times. So it's like, sometimes I come over, it feels a bit shit, 'cause I'm like, oh, the people that I love the most are getting the least.
Yeah, but I think you could say that about anyone who comes home from work, because you're just drained, aren't you? It's like me, like I don't really speak to many people in work, but I'm exhausted at the end of it, and then I don't necessarily want to talk like small talk, really, depending on what it is. It's just like anything.
I think we went off on a tangent then, which, surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
But what are your kind of fitness goals for the future then? So do you have any?
Yeah, well, I have. I think I'm trying, like, I'm definitely doing High Rocks in November.
Tell the people.
High Rocks is a race. It's a running race, but you run a kilometre, do like a kilometre row, run a kilometre. It's an 8K run, but you do like 8 exercises in between the run.
Yeah.
So it's like 70 wall balls is one of them.
Is it sandbag?
Yeah, there's like sandbag lunges, and then there's like sledge push. There's a ski in it as well, a kilometre ski, burpees. I think that might be it.
So it's very intense, and you've signed up. We've gone to the odd High Rocks class together. It is really good. Like,
it's very good conditioning.
Yeah,
definitely.
like it's just, I think like because you don't work in the industry, but you have, if not more, knowledge than me on fitness. You're on it.
That, but yeah.
I would.
Okay.
But because you've tried everything.
Yeah.
If anyone's looking for a shot put instructor, urge a woman.
Have you gal?
But I was gonna make a point then. What was it? Oh, that people can be like intimidated by them kind of spaces.
Yeah.
But they needn't, like, it is just a place. It's nice to go. This is the point I was making. That wasn't the point I was going to make. Because we know a lot about fitness and stuff, and like we can go to the gym on our own, and we could think of a plan for ourselves in the gym. But it's so nice going places and not having to think. That's what I like about going places like that is I go in.
It's a class, you mean?
Yeah, I go in, I get told what to do, and I get beasted.
Yeah.
I'm there for a lot of time. I know I'm just going to be there for an hour.
Yeah. No, I love it because you don't have to think about it, and you literally do get beasted. And there are people from like all different fitness levels, aren't there? And you can look at it and it could be brutal, but you just plod on through your own pace. And
trust me, I plod on through High Rocks.
And there are certain spaces, it's like anything, isn't it? Like sometimes I'll go into like a gym and I'll feel intimidated even though I've been to a million gyms.
Yeah, weirdly, I feel more intimidated in like the bodybuilding kind of scene, which is, it's not where I started out. I've never done bodybuilding, but those are the kind of gyms where I started going to the gym.
You get little clicks, don't you? It's like you go into a CrossFit gym and you've got people doing like handstand walks and you know what I mean, like muscle ups and all sorts, and it's like, is this really what I want to do? And you just kind of like, you find your own thing that works for you. Do you know what I mean? Like I never wanted to be a full-blown CrossFitter. It didn't appeal to me.
She did want to pull up though.
I did want to pull up and I still do.
Every now and then I'll get a message off them.
I'm going to kip this year.
Every time.
I'm too big to kip.
No,
this is me theory.
You are not too big. Okay. But every few months I'll get a message off him saying like, do you know what? I think I want to pull up.
This is the month.
I think this is the month.
I'm over that now.
I've heard that so many.
Sailed.
I have heard that so many times. I'm
totally over it.
Something else has just come into my head. So obviously we're quite muscular women.
Are we?
Yes. And me and Em were in Mackey's standard of like months ago, maybe end of last year, beginning of this year, and we had tears streaming because of some of the comments we've had. So Emma's one was
someone we knew from the gym. You'll have to tell it.
Someone we knew from the gym. We'd gone on like this retreat. It was Mark. He won't mind because he'll be howling at how funny we found it. He said, this is what every woman wants to hear. He said to the rate you've reduced muscle is insane.
Yeah.
What was it? Something like, I feel like you could just add an egg to your diet and get ripped.
I feel like we might have added that on. I think Mark just said that you build muscle really quick. And then you're like, literally like, yeah, you have an egg and that's it.
When I used to be a lifeguard, I went into work one day And the manager was like, I was thinking of you over the weekend. And I was like, oh, were you? And he's like, I think I found sport for your
For your build.
for your build. And I was thinking, oh, it's going to be something like nice and dainty. I shit you not, he was like prop forward in women's rugby. He was like, I just think you're really built for rugby. Like, you're short and stocky. Joey, you're just like 17. That's
Yeah,
not
like
what.
that. Nice
As
one.
well, like muscular physiques have come in trend more
Yeah.
now. But when I was 17, it was still very much
Yeah.
like thinner the better, and the Kardashians were kind of coming onto the scene, and I was neither. I'm not curvaceous, and I'm never going to be stick thin.
Yeah.
So I was just a prop forward, Jim.
Prop forward.
Eating me eggs. But now it's like it's all in fashion. So me and my big back are loving it.
No, definitely athletic build is definitely, well, gym bunnies, isn't it? Definitely.
Is it gym bunnies or gym mummies? I keep seeing.
I
which
don't
ones
fucking know.
it is.
I don't
You're a
know.
gym mummy. Knocks me sick.
Thanks. Yeah, but it's definitely more in fashion, I would say.
Yeah,
But-
definitely.
But again, it's
What
like
was in
anything.
fashion when you not them?
When I go on, like from what when it was everything was in black and white.
When
Ellie makes out like I'm about
when you
90.
used to go on your penny farthing to
Yeah,
school.
yeah, and scribe on a slate. Yeah. What was in fashion then? Thin. When I
Was
was in
it?
school, yeah, like you just
Like,
wanted to be thin, and I
Was
always
Kate
had.
Moss around then? Like,
Yeah.
Was it Twiggy?
No, it was definitely Kate Moss, and like I don't know, was it Kate Moss? Like the Spice Girls were like it.
Posh Spice.
Yeah, the Posh Spice era and all that. But what was I going to say then? Don't
So I think I sidetracked you with
You
penny
definitely
farthing.
sidetracked me.
I said what kind of bodies were in when you were.
Oh, I always had quite a bigger frame, like you say. Like I had a big bump naturally. Now it's it's great. Now everyone pays for it. But I did growing up, and I hated it.
See,
Hated it.
my bum and legs, I've always had a nice little bum. My auntie Jan always used to call me Cherry Bum as I walked into the house. So I was always kind of boosted for it. I don't know if it was because of lifeguarding or always doing sports like football. Even now to this day, my legs, say if someone else had my legs, they might be insecure about them because I've got bigger legs. I've never been insecure because I've always had them out. So
Yeah,
I
so
never...
you're used to it.
I never see my legs
I
as
hate
a
having
problem.
my legs out.
Even, you see, it doesn't bother me. My areas that I get conscious of is like my stomach, and it used to be my arms, but not so much now. But yeah, my stomach. Whereas some people are like can get the stomach out no problems. I don't like. This is the tightest I'd go fit wise. I don't like stuff being close on my stomach. Whereas legs, I could be sat here in a thong. For like,
Well,
and
I think that's a different channel.
we'd be getting paid for that
Yeah,
one.
exactly. That may be, hey, listen, times are tough, aren't they just?
But yeah, legs don't bother me, so it's weird because I think you've got.
Oh, I hate my legs. I hate them.
Really?
I hate my legs. It's funny, isn't it? Always have.
It is weird.
And I'm
isn't it?
dead pale. I am like Casper, so that doesn't help either.
See, I never class you as a pale person. I always think you've got a bit of a sun-kissed
I
glow.
think that's like straight tan. L.
Well, who knows?
But yeah, but no, it's everyone's got their own little insecurity, haven't they? I suppose.
So were you insecure? I feel like I'm getting...
As a
You should be
kid?
lying down. Like, were you insecure about your body as a kid?
Yeah, definitely.
Me
Because I was
too.
bigger than
Yeah.
average girls, I would say.
Well, same. I was always broader. And
I was definitely overweight as a kid.
you see, I don't think I was...
I was definitely.
And also, this might come as a shock to people. I was actually one of the tall kids, and I just stopped growing. Like, I was about seven.
When?
I was about 7 foot in year 6, and then I just stopped growing. So I was a bit insecure about that because all the other girls were like dainty, and it's even like I remember being. My mum always tells a story of. I think I've spoken about this on the podcast before or on Instagram, where my mum was so used to like the sheer density of me that I came running out of school and she picked me up and threw me in the air, and another girl came out and was like, "Oh, Ellie's mum do the same to me." My mum said, "Jesus Christ, that kid flew," because she was so used. Like, I've always been solid. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said I was overweight, but I've always produced muscle.
Yeah.
I've
well, there you
always
go.
just been
There
a
you go,
little
it's obviously
hench.
build.
Would you? How long did it stick with you, or feeling
What?
insecure?
I'm probably still insecure now, but just in different ways. Yeah.
When's been the
Completely.
worst time that you've been insecure? Not to like just pick at a scab.
No, I probably would felt really insecure, like in like year 6 going into high school.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause
That young?
I can remember that then. Yeah, because
Really?
I did. I
Did you
yeah.
develop early?
Yeah, I probably did. So I did. I felt like I just wanted to be like that little tiny
Yeah.
girl, and I wasn't.
Isn't it weird, the stuff that sticks with you? I still remember to this day. I didn't really. I'm still waiting to develop. But I'm still waiting for my boobs to come in. I remember being in like on holiday with my mum, and I was wearing a vest, and she kind of pulled me to one side when we were walking back from the restaurant. And she was like, "I think when we get home, we'll have to start looking for bras." And I burst into tears because I was like,
Yeah.
"I don't want to."
Yeah.
I don't think it really. No one really speaks about it, is it? But when you're young and your body's changing,
Yeah, you're like, why
you
is
don't
this happening to me?
want
Yeah,
it at all.
yeah.
Like,
Especially if it's like if you're one of the first as well. I think it's
Yeah.
very daunting, and I know that now from like my 12
Yeah.
and 14. And I can see that now that like they
Yeah.
are like, what
you
is
don't
going on?
actually want to grow
Yeah.
up, and your body is literally changing before your eyes. And it's like, to get really deep, it's like a lack of control, isn't it? You can't
Yeah.
stop puberty
Yeah.
unless you're obviously wearing puberty blockers.
Well, it's the
but-
hormones as well, isn't it? Like the hormones are like playing tricks on you, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, it's
See, I
just
was
to us
quite,
now.
I mean, people might disagree. I don't feel like I was bad on hormones.
What now?
I'm more hormonal now as an adult.
Oh, than when you were a
than
teenager.
when I was a teenager. When I was a
Yeah.
teenager, I was very young. Like,
Yeah.
as in, I was a young 16-year-old.
Yeah,
like,
see, I wasn't.
me and
I
my
was a
mates-
nightmare.
Yeah.
I was a
We're
nightmare.
polar opposites in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, you were at the park getting pissed. Me and my mates were playing squash
clubbing when I
tomatoes
was
on the slide.
14. I was in Bar VR in Liverpool, Mr. Smith's, everywhere. It was literally
No,
14.
Not me. I was still playing at the park. Not drinking at the park, playing at the park.
Playing.
At like 14,
Yeah, I was-
16.
yeah.
But I look back at that and I'm so happy I did.
Yeah, I wish I kind of did, but no.
Yeah, but
I just obviously fell into the wrong crowd.
I think you were probably the ringleader, to be fair. Other people fell into your crowd.
But no, I wouldn't. Listen, it's just different life experiences, isn't it? I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I know every rule or every trick in the book and our rows is
She
not
can't
getting
get
away
it.
with
See,
any
I
of
feel
it.
like I would say, I feel like you're gonna laugh at me. I would say I'm street smart.
I wouldn't say you're street smart.
I am street smart.
She's not.
I am. But how
No,
am I
you
not
are not.
street smart?
Some of the stories you told me when you were out, you were not street smart.
Am I not?
Not like
Well, the other day, I was in Barry Island, and a young girl asked me for my phone, and I said yeah, but I'm keeping hold of it and going on speaker, and I came away from that like thinking, God, I'm street smart.
Yeah.
Because someone that wasn't would have given me phone, she'd have been off. It was
Okay.
so funny because she was like 07, like literally like 0141, go and do one, and then at the end she was like 123, and I was like 123.
what are you going on? I don't understand what
This
you mean.
girl's number, like I was typing this number, and she was like,
So she was trying to
07.
rob the phone.
I don't know, because someone did answer, but it was just all very dodgy.
Just didn't know
Because
the
she was
area
like,
code.
"I'm at Barry Island. Where are you?" "I'm at Barry Island." "Okay." Hung up, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
"I
maybe
think
that
I've
was
just
a bit of a
dodged
setup.
being
Yeah, maybe,
mugged here."
maybe
But Barry Island's a whole different topic for a whole different day.
a whole different day.
I've seen things.
Whatever floats your boat.
I witnessed a man have half his thumb bit off
In
the
Barry
pub
Island?
in Barry Island, and it was
You've been to
honestly.
witness.
And
It's like a common, like you know what I mean, Friday night.
Yeah, no, well, I think we've covered all bases here
I feel like, yeah,
today. I don't know if this is a really long episode, a really short one,
I've got no idea.
but I just think, right, Ellie, you're on about men getting their thumbs chopped off.
Now's the time to call
Now's
it a
the
day.
time to call it before it gets weirder. But thank you very much for coming on because, again, you wouldn't think it, but Em was really nervous about coming
I
on
was
today.
really nervous.
Do you feel better now?
Yeah, I feel like we're just chatting. It's just it's hard, isn't it, to know? It's a little bit like when the conversation dries up, you feel like the pressure of not drying up.
Yeah.
That end it on that note.
Thanks.
No, Lou,
Hope you enjoy a really dry episode. Weren't too many awkward silences. But as always, if you have any questions or you just want to reach out, you can message me on Instagram at ElliishPT.